Ladies and cis white male scum, I want to welcome you to a very special Let's Play of Depression Quest, a game that has been described by game critics as the greatest thing since sliced bread, and has sparked sort of a controversy, which is, do game critics have the right to critique games whose developer they are currently fucking? So without further ado, let's see if Zoe Quinn is worth fucking. Because this music is repugnant and I can't listen to it anymore, we're going to do this without the sound. So in case any of you say that the sound is sort of part of the narrative and is in some way required to experience the game correctly, and playing it without the sound will, how should I say, make my opinion of the game, how would they say it, given under false pretense. Fuck you. The music is just, you can't listen to this shit more than 2 minutes, so fuck it. The game is one of the biggest features of the game is that there's a shitload of text in it. So we're going to basically be reading a lot of text. So I will basically be talking the whole time. So you will basically be hearing me in my atrocious accent the whole time. If you don't want to hear me read, fuck off. Let us begin. Depression Quest, an interactive non-fiction about living with depression by Zoe Quinn, Patrick Lindsay, and Isaac Shankler. Now, as far as I know, Zoe Quinn wrote the text. Patrick Lindsay is some sort of HTML writer because he wrote the game, and the game is entirely an HTML document. The desktop version is HTML document packaged in a WebKit executable that basically takes 3 minutes for a person who doesn't know how to do it. So if he's sort of being sold here as a game designer, developer, whatever, he didn't do much work. As far as I remember, Isaac Shankler is responsible for this shit, and I don't want to be harassing him or anything, but this is atrocious. He should give up his music license. I don't know if they give music licenses to people who want to make music, but I think he should be excluded from making music in the future because it sucks. Okay, its emotional character is probably mostly indescribable, except as a sort of double bind in which all of the alternatives we associate with human agency, sitting or standing, doing or resting, speaking or keeping silent, living or dying, are not just unpleasant but literally horrible. David Foster Wallace. I don't know who David is, and I think he's talking about depression. And yes, depression does suck. Depression Quest is a game that deals with whatever. Okay, the game is not meant to be fun or lighthearted experience. If you're currently suffering from the illness and are easily triggered, please be aware that this game uses stark depictions of people in very dark places. If you are suicidal, please stop playing this game and visit this link to talk to someone. The goal of this game is twofold. Firstly, we want to illustrate as clearly as possible what depression is like, so that it may be better understood by people without depression, meaning normal people. Hopefully this can be something to spread awareness and fight against the social stigma and misunderstandings that depression sufferers face. Okay. Secondly, our hope is that in presenting as real a simulation of depression as possible, other sufferers will come to know that they aren't alone, and hopefully derive some measure of comfort from that. Okay, I can live with that. So we're not going to judge the game by how entertained we are. We're going to be judging the game by how the depiction of depression is accurate, or as they say it, as real as simulation. So there's some bullshit about National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. View controls, scroll page, select next option, whatever, return, resume game, and begin. It's early on Monday morning. You are a mid-20s human being. You have a significant other named Alex. Why is named Alex a link? You met Alex through a mutual friend a few months back. The two of you hit it off pretty well that first night, and after a series of initially awkward dates. How are the dates initially awkward if you hit it off the first night? Okay, you finally become a couple, much to your surprise and excitement. Okay, Alex is 3 months younger than you are and is currently a student with a part-time job and broad social circle. She's also got a wide variety of interests, and oftentimes you worry that you might be too boring for her. But she has been good at trying to reassure you that she's happy with you. Okay, so in this second paragraph, we already see the mindset of insecurity by identifying ourselves as boring. Your relationship consists of a lot of nights in watching Netflix when you've both got time off work and she doesn't have classes, with the occasional social outing that she tends to have to talk you into attending. So the third paragraph defines us as somebody who is sort of socially awkward, doesn't want to go out and meet people. She tries to be understanding when you are in one of your moods, as she puts it, though you are starting to feel like she doesn't understand what it's like for you. And this is a source of tension in your relationship. Coupled with your reluctance to want to go to college parties, this feeds your worry of not being exciting enough for them. Not being exciting enough for them. coupled with your reluctance to want to go to college parties. This feeds your worry of not being exciting enough for them. You're not supposed to be exciting for a college party. The college party should be exciting to you. So here's a misunderstanding that's, I suppose, could be a source of being socially awkward. The feeling that people are judging you all the time, which isn't special to people with depression. We all have that type of, let's call it, anxiety, for a lack of a weaker word. Okay, you have a significant other named Alex, who you are rather fond of, that you have been seeing exclusively. What does it mean that you have been seeing exclusively? If she is your significant other, would you be seeing other people? When saying significant other, there's a presumption that it's sort of serious, and you can't be serious with somebody and not being exclusive with them. Been seeing exclusively for the past few months. Okay, if the writing is as bad going forward as it is to this point, we will not be finishing this shit. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job. Okay, the rest of your social circle. Your social circle is made up of a few close friends, some of which you've known from high school and some from jobs that you've worked, which is basic. You've also made various acquaintances through reluctantly going to social events with Alex, and you keep in touch with a few friend of friends that you occasionally run into. You also have several online friends that you talk to regularly, that you feel less guarded with, possibly due to communicating from the safety of being behind the keyboard. You enjoy the low commitment of the friendship since they don't expect very much of you other than to listen and share personal thoughts and experience. Despite the low commitment, you feel fairly connected with these people and tend to be more honest with them than people you interact with in real life on a day-to-day basis. That's normal. That's actually very normal. You feel incredibly nervous trying to make new friends on your own and are very good at talking yourself out of going to unfamiliar places or large social engagements, regardless of how much you may actually want to attend. Meeting new people stresses you out to a high degree, and this is something you wish you could work past. The main character of this game is depressing me. I don't know if they're depressed, but they seem to be a sad person. You admit you have a bad habit of flaking on social engagements, even with long-time friends, and are puzzled as to why some days you just can't force yourself to go see these people that you really do care about. Those that have stuck around long enough to be that close with you understand that this is a thing you sometimes do and have seemed to more or less accept it, even though they chide you for it on occasion. I don't know what chide means. I can guess what it means. However, you've had friends in the past give up trying to maintain a friendship with you because of this trait. Oh, okay. taking your social anxieties as a personal slight or eventually getting tired of trying to track you down all the time. You feel incredibly guilty about this but are not quite sure how to change. Which is why you're probably depressed. You have put yourself in a mindset that there's something wrong with you and that you need to change. Nothing thus far is actionable. Nothing thus far requires you to change yourself. These are normal things. Okay, despite being... Okay, fuck it. Yeah. Everybody watching this video, everybody that has watched other videos I have made knows that I will offend the depressed demographic. So if you're depressed, fuck you. Sorry. And yeah. The rest of your social circle consists of a variety of friends and acquaintances, some of whom you met at your day job. You have a day job which you feel is really nothing special, like the rest of the fucking world. You started out receiving minimum wage, but have stayed around long enough to be making enough to support yourself. The work is dull and unrewarding, as is most work, and most days you feel like just about anyone could do it, because just about anyone could do it. You're not special. Everybody is replaceable. You have a hard time relating to most of your co-workers, so you mostly keep to yourself and get the work done while you're there. Okay. No, it's not okay. You have a hard time relating to most of your co-workers. In what sense is relating used here? You're not supposed to get close to them. You're doing a job there. You know, there are one or two people you chat with, though you wouldn't consider yourself close with them. You're not supposed to be close with them. You're there to work, not to fuck them. A lot of days lately you have a really hard time getting out of bed, like most fucking people, and forcing yourself to go in. You're starting to wonder how long you can keep this up. Yeah, I've been wondering how long I can keep up with my day job for the past 7 years. It's been shit the last 7 years. It's going to continue being shit. And the last 7 years I have been wondering how long I can keep this up. For a depressed person, you're doing good. You really like to find another job in your field of interest. Yes, everybody who has a field of interest would like to work in their field of interest. But feel like you are underqualified every time you look at online job postings, because you probably are underqualified. A lot of people are underqualified. Sometimes you think about going back to school, which, would basically solve your underqualified problem. But you would be unsure how you would be able to support yourself and wonder if the degree would really help anyway. Well, it would help you with being underqualified. That's what they mean when they say you're underqualified. You don't have the degree, you don't have the education to do the job you want to do. What's wrong with these people? Okay, day job, which is a little boring but pays the rent. You'd like to be doing more with your life, as would everybody else, as would your parents. You're one of the few people you know of whose parents never got divorced, but you do wonder if they still love each other sometimes. They don't. Most probably they don't. But they're too old to have an alternative, so fuck him. You have an older brother named Malcolm, which is a stupid name, who has moved across the country with his wife to work a high-paying job and is not a loser and a failure like you. Uh, every major holiday that you see him at, you feel a bit jealous and like the lesser kid because you are the lesser kid. Despite being genuinely happy to see him, you feel very ashamed of these feelings. And you should. You should be ashamed. But whatever. Your parents genuinely care about you. This often involves inviting you back to your childhood home for dinner, though your mother thinks you never visit quite enough, but you get the impression they don't fully understand you. They want to see you succeed and don't know why you haven't gone further in life yet. Because you're so smart and talented. You're not so smart and talented. It's a lie. All parents do this. They lie to their kid. Oh, you're so smart and talented. You should achieve more. But you're not smart and talented, so you can't achieve more. So you get depressed for failing. And you think your parents think you're a failure. 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 I thought I misspoke, so I said failure a few times, but I think it bears repeating. Failure! You are a failure. Most people are. Don't get depressed over feeling like a failure. And it's arbitrary. Failure is you set your goals and you fail, and then you're a failure. If you had set other goals, maybe you wouldn't be a failure. So it's arbitrary. Ah, my throat is starting to get fucked up. Anytime you've tried to talk to them about your motivation issues, they tell you that the solution is simply to work harder or want it more. Your father is generally more forgiving of your lack of a career path, while your mother seems to think you're too smart, and she's wrong, to be in the position you're in. Oh, sweet, sweet coffee. You know they love you and that they're not bad people, but you really feel like a big disappointment sometimes. Okay, this is... okay, whatever. You like to be doing more with your life as would your parents, but you're still in the process of figuring out what that means and how to go about it. You're also dealing with motivation issues that sometimes makes dealing with these things difficult. You feel like this is probably your fault and no bad days can feel unworldly angry. Okay, I made a mistake. You feel like this is probably your fault and on bad days you can feel unworldly angry and down on yourself for being lazy, which is good. You should judge yourself. You should say to yourself, I could do more. I could work harder because, that's the way out. But you're not quite sure how you can break out of it or how other people deal with these feelings and seem so very functional. Well, yes, other people do have the same feelings. Nothing that was said thus far is unique to depressed people, and everybody feels this way and it is functional, as is the character in the game. She is actually functional, so you spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about this but never seem to do anything about it other than lose sleep. Yeah, me too. I spend a lot of nights fixating on thinking about shit and don't sleep.